sant yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
Jar Oil, the company, have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
In the Gambia, we all move to different paces. Time is money, convenience is power, and now both are in your hands. No more long lines, no more late payments, no more missed chances. Not anymore. Because now the Gambia has its own super app, Zap. One app, one tap, endless convenience. Send money instantly, pay your bills in seconds, shop without borders, pay your rides, order your meal, buy your ticket, deposit and withdraw money for absolutely free. No extra charges, no hidden fees, only on Zap Super App. This is not just convenience. This is confidence. This is the future in your hands. And the best part, Zap is born right here. Built for us, designed for every Gambian home, every Gambian dream. So don't wait in the past. Step into the future. Download Zap today on App Store and Play Store and enjoy endless free services. Call us today on our toll-free number 1666 or on 260-0001. Zap, all in one, all for you. Tap in, zap in.
We have the ubiquitous. I mean, he's everywhere. The name that is on Gambian lips, and that's none other than Madi Jobarteh. I call him Kalajula. Kalajula. Welcome to Coffee Time with Peter Gomez.
Thank you. You know, glad to be here. I think first time in the studio with you, though. I mean, in the new setup. So.
Yeah, because we invited you once, and then there was a clash.
Yeah. So, but I was there for another program though. But then on Coffee Time, first time in the new setup. Beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you.
Yes.
You have a big event coming up.
Yeah, on Thursday we will officially launch EF Small Center, but also commemorate EF Small himself. Apparently, January 29th is his birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to a great event. I mean, it is also going to be a celebration of the Gambia. So we'll hold it at the University of the Gambia. And we've invited all across society, you know, civil society, media, private sector, political parties, government, international partners, and so on. So, yeah.
Two people I hear, talk passionately about Edward Francis Small. I mean, we've named the whole hospital after him. There may be one or two other places that I don't know of. Are one yourself and the higher education minister. But I'm sure if you were to ask Martin, Awa, and Rohi here about Edward Francis Small, they have no idea.
Yeah.
Who was he? Why is he so important that not only our hospital, but you have chosen to name a whole center, after him, or as they say in America, for him?
Yeah, so in this Gambia, nation state that we call the Gambia, not just from 1970 or 1965, but this colonial Gambia to today. When one looks across, one individual that for me exemplifies patriotism, nationalism, sense of duty, citizen sovereignty, and so on, is Edward Francis Small. And he began the fight for the freedom of Gambians, for the independence of Gambians, for the empowerment of Gambians to have a say in the way their country is run, even before we gain independence. despite all the odds and challenges, and made huge sacrifices. And for me, that also laid the basis for the independence that we have today. And so I don't see any Gambian worthy really of the title father of our independence or father of the nation than Edward Francis Small. And
That's not Alhaji Sadauda Kairaba Jawara of
no,
blessed memory
no,
for you.
no, not at all, not at all. I think Edward Francis Small stands tall above all else, and I would really, I mean, it's sad that, like you said, a lot of young people, but I would say not even young people. So when I came up with the name and issued the first statement to say we have created this organization, a Gambian, probably older than me, I'm not sure about you, called from the US to say he just read this press statement and he had always thought E.F. Small was some British or European and didn't know this. And he went to school all the way to the highest level.
Well, listen, let's be honest. I mean, Edward Francis Small was hardly taught in our schools.
Absolutely. So I said yes. And so for me, the name also, it is not about the values that Edward Francis Small represented and the struggle he fought, but it is also to inspire. Because he's been an inspiration for me. The very moment I came across that name and read his history, I mean, I connected. And for me, if anyone wants to know why Madi is like this today, I would say E.F. Small is a central part of that. Yes. So it is therefore this name.
How did you encounter him? I mean, how did you encounter the name, not him as a person?
I must say through Doi lectures. Halifa Salah, Syria Jata, Samsara, I've heard them talk about it. As young as I remember sitting at Doi, and it's Ebony, in Sarakunda, and today I go there, it's unrecognizable, but even in Bakau too, because I grew up mainly in Bakau. But then later years, going to high school, I've always questioned.
You wanted to know more about this person.
Yes, so, and not just like E.F. Small, but the whole African issue, black issue, and so I was into Pan-Africanism and so on. And I came across books. I think one of the first books I've read was written by Gambian Ayo Langley. I can't fully remember.
Is it Jebes Ayo Langley?
Yeah, probably, yes. And that's a very good book, history book about, British West Africa. And E.F. Small was a central figure in a movement called the National Congress of British West Africa in the 20s. And that fascinated me with folks like Atia Wallace Johnson in Sierra Leone, Herbert Macaulay in, I think, Nigeria, and others in Ghana. So for me, because E.F. Small was a journalist, was an activist, was a trade unionist, of course, was a missionary as well. And so my inspiration came from there. And I think our young people particularly, I've named this after E.F. Small to also inspire them. So we share the story of Edward Francis Small to our young generation and so on. Yeah, so
as I said, the launch is tomorrow, but
Thursday.
Sorry.
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Why am I?
Yes.
Keep thinking tomorrow is Thursday. The launch is on Thursday, not tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Wednesday. Actually, we're getting Paps in on the program.
Yes. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, indeed, yes. But I'm sure not once, not twice, you've heard your organization being described as a briefcase organization.
One
man show. You're taking the words literally out of my mouth.
You see? Well, no, I mean, because we are making impact. Because we are...
You're supposed to be one man, so you can't you can't use we for one person.
Yeah, so I've issued a statement to that effect. I mean, it's okay to be called one man. Yeah, I mean, West Coast Radio, you started it. I mean, it did not start with 100 people or 5 people. And many organizations, companies started in that way. And so, I wouldn't want to say somebody ignorant there can say that, or illiterate, but I would not expect somebody like you, highly educated and well-informed, to speak of an organization in that manner.
Yeah, but somebody more educated than me.
Yeah, so
I mean,
which is shocking, or but also maybe not surprising, because one can decide to ignore facts to be dishonest about issues, but that doesn't bother me. I mean, Peter, we are building a formidable organization, and EF Small Center will create history in this country, like the namesake, and I can guarantee you that. So we have a team, and this team is going to be built. But
we have a team, or the team is going to be built?
We have a team,
okay,
and it will continue to be built.
Okay, you'll build upon the team.
Yeah,
okay.
So and the focus is on young people, all right. And so I mean, if we had a chance, we would have been 2 here.
Okay.
We could have brought 5
I'm,
people
I'm,
down
I'm sorry.
here.
In fact, you're
Yeah.
actually here with someone. Unfortunately, the filming crew catered only for
I know. So I mean, but we will we have a team. We will build this organization. We have a vision. We have a mission.
What's the vision?
Yeah, the vision is a Gambia where citizens are empowered, where leadership is held to account, where there is good governance, and Gambians enjoy their full human rights as expressed in our constitution, in the international laws that the Gambia has ratified, in that regard, as a country that is a republic, a democratic republic. So that is our vision, Gambia, that is just, fair, and equal for everyone, so that at the end of the day, each and every Gambian would have the opportunity, the space to realize his or her own potentials, to obtain the opportunities that you need, and therefore to become yourself again a contributor to building that society.
But the government argues all the time that is happening right now, and which has never been the case before. So who do you think in this country feels marginalized?
Oh, you look in the cabinet, there are only 3 women there, and our population is 52% of the Gambia are women. You look in the parliament, there are only 5 women, only 3 elected. You look in the local councils, out of 121, there are only 19 women there. You look in the National Assembly, again, there is no Manjago there, there is no Karoninka, there is no Christian, there is no person with disability. So that is just looking at diversity in terms of the Gambia, in terms of representation. You look at our political parties, they are all led by men. Predominantly, I mean,
well, they're all founded by men, maybe
and then founded by men, and simply because of structural imbalances, which are cultural. They're not just political, economic; they're also cultural, social. So that is that aspect. But then you look at services development, you can see severe, limitations. For example, persons with disabilities, but also in terms of services for women, children, so that the instance of infant and maternal mortality rates, you look at them, and then you go to opportunities as well, on other things, whether it's education or other economic opportunities, you can see serious imbalances, all right? At the same time, you look at communities, yes, here they are building roads and all of those things. Yeah, but we don't need to.
Burfoot is Dubai. Sukuta
is
Singapore.
Yeah. So
very
we don't.
Very soon, Brikama will be Bahrain.
Yeah.
Development is happening.
Maybe I mean.
At an aggressive pace.
I tell you, maybe Boraba will become Tokyo. So I'll go back, and that is it. So Peter, this society, and this is that. These are some of these. I didn't even mention. Protection of rights, and here it is not just about the state, but it is even about home, the discrimination, the exclusion, and the abuse that takes place, whether it's sexual and gender-based violence, whether it's discrimination, abuse as a result of disability or age, and so on.
SGBV, that's at a private level, isn't it? Certainly it's not happening, I mean, no government official has been accused of any SGBV case,
yes. Well, I mean, a lot of sexual harassment takes place in public institutions, But
we're yet to hear any single case.
Yeah, because, there has been no monitoring, no effective reporting, so certainly we will not hear the cases. Okay. But the point I'm just trying to draw is to say our society is still characterized largely by inequalities, by discrimination, by abuse, and at all levels. All right. And our vision as Edward Francis Small Center, that's what is to have a society that is just, equal, fair, in all respects, social, economic, political, and cultural, and so on. Because we have cultural beliefs here that are in themselves discriminatory and harmful. So we want to deal with these things. So if the government says they are doing these things, or as you said, the government says this is what is happening, no, we see efforts, all right? Yes, we see a road being built, we see schools being built, and so on. But Peter, this is the very function, the very purpose of government. Ultimately, it is to provide goods and services which would therefore mean the fulfillment of our rights, the protection of our rights. If you empower the police to maintain law and order, you are protecting our rights. If you build hospitals and schools, you are protecting, fulfilling our right to education, our right to health care, and so on and so forth. So that is going on, but Jawara has been doing that. The Jawara government, the Jammeh government has been doing that, and this will continue. Tomorrow, if you become president, it will continue. In America, until now,
I never said I had ambitions of becoming a president.
All right, I'm just imposing that on you. But even a country like America,
yes,
today they are building roads. A country like Japan, they are still building hospitals. So that is an unending function of government, because society needs this thing. And much as we can appreciate those things, we say in the Gambia, when you look at the situation, it is still hugely inadequate. And not just inadequate in what they are building, but there has been a lot of waste and corruption and abuse of office and disregard of law. And that is very, very important for us to pay attention, because it means we could have had far better roads, far more hospitals, far more, schools, far more opportunities to have prevented, let's say, the back way and many other things if we had cut down on the waste, on the corruption, and so on. And Peter, I give this thing to people. I tell them, Jammeh's regime, some of the most important human rights, accountability, good governance, democratic institutions, and laws were built under Jammeh, whether it's IEC, Ombudsman, NCCE, Public Finance Act, Women's Act, Children's Act, Pura, GCCPC.
Yes.
Then you come to development like university, television,
yes,
GRA, and so on. But Peter, that government also was the most corrupt, atrocious regime. So people have to bear these things in mind, and left the Gambia highly indebted. By the time Jammeh was leaving, IMF classifies the Gambia as highly indebted poor country. And that same IMF, World Bank, EU, they gave loans and grants to this country. Any project Jammeh built, it's from the Kuwaiti Fund, the Arab Fund, Badea, EU, IMF, World Bank, and so on and so forth. Went all the way to China, Venezuela, Cuba, and so on. They brought doctors here.
People like to compare the debt levels, the debt stock left by Jammeh, and the debt stock contracted by this government since 2017. And they say it far outstrips not just Jammeh, but Jammeh and Jawara combined.
Yeah. So, and that should concern us, because yes, every taking loan is not in itself bad, but
it's how you use the loan.
To how you use it. So you take loan. Until today, Gambia is classified as a debt distressed country. Every finance minister, you bring...
The minister denies that.
Well, we just look at the budget. Where you have, up to 40 or more
His
percent...
argument is, if we were, so classified, we would not be accessing all these loans and grants from the World Bank.
Yeah, but that is false, though, because the Gambia, as I said, since 1999, the IMF World Bank has classified Gambia as a highly indebted country. All right, they came with all sorts of measures to deal with that, to say that, forgiving, so that, what we're supposed to be should be plowed into our social sectors. So it never stopped it, because at the end of the day also, these donors, not just is that business, that also has political advantages for the people who are given. So they know these things.
We have a couple of minutes remaining. 2025 was for the
EFSCRJ.
EFSCRJ,
Year of
the year of
transparency and
transparency
accountability.
and accountability.
Yeah.
How did the government perform in those two areas?
Badly, and we have issued a statement, an overview of 2025, so that we recognized steps taken to ensure transparency and accountability in terms of laws and institutions created. But then we look at the outcome, we realize that government has not lived up to those laws and institutions.
So they failed woefully.
They failed woefully.
From 1 to 10, how would they? 3
put
out of 10. 2 out of 10.
I'll say 3.
You'll say 3.
3 because of the creation of very important laws and institutions.
Like the Anti-Corruption Commission?
Well, which came later, but the Access to Information Act, the Information Commission, but also, even though not in 2025, but the NHRC.
Who's in the Access to Information Commission?
John
Charles?
John Charles.
Because we were arguing that. It's
Yes,
John Charles, Babukar Cham,
Babukar Cham,
and
Emil Toure,
and
Emil Toure.
And Emil, exactly.
and Ami Toure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this year is declared year of what?
Empowerment.
Empowerment.
Yes.
Who is the center seeking to empower?
Citizens.
Okay.
So we are calling for the empowerment of citizens, particularly relevant. This is also an election year, and citizens. When we say empowerment, it is about information, being informed. Citizens need to be informed, not just about its election, but fundamentally about their rights, and needs, and that part, that information also, translate into organization, into active citizenship, so that people make sure they go and register to vote, they go and vote, but also people to stand up to defend their rights, to demand services, so that if it requires protest, they protest. If that requires going to court, they go to court to speak up and to organize themselves into associations, groups, communities to be awake, to defend their communities, their environment, their lands, and so on. So it's a year of empowerment, and we'll be promoting messages, information from our laws, from the policies, and other areas to share with citizens to equip them, for empowerment.
And just finally, so what's the inauguration ceremony going to look like on Thursday? I've got the day right.
Thursday,
finally.
yes. Well, we hope it will be lively. We are not just celebrating EF Small as a person and EF Small Center launching it. We want to also celebrate Gambian history, and we want to recognize our people, founders, pioneers, trailblazers. So whether it's Nimasara Sane Bojang as first woman in the one, or whether it's P.S. Njai or Mgaba Jahumpa or Sanjali Bojang, and individuals who have played a part, of course, Jawara and so on. We want to celebrate, showcase all of those.
No Jame?
Certainly not. We'll put a checkpoint, in front of the gate. Nothing like Jame will enter. But yeah, so we will have the erudite Nana Gray Johnson to give a keynote lecture on EF Small, and certainly also a memorialization tribute by Hasum Sise, a historian. And then we'll have a high-level panel. We've identified people within the civil society.
Have they been decided?
They have been decided, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who are these 5 people?
Hannah Foster is one of them.
African Center,
yes. CRPD's Said Matejao is one of them. The Youth Parliament Speaker, Jabu Sisaho, is one of them. The Gambia Federation of Disabled President, Krubali, is one of them. Professor...
That's a good panel, huh?
Yeah, Professor Abdullah Sen is one of them, and the President of Bar Association, Dene Cham, is one of them.
Oh, she's having a very, busy few days.
I can see that, yes. And I've been back and forth with her because also she has this important ceremony going on. Right. And of course, to be chaired by, Dr. Katim Toure. And because, Peter, the launching, if resources had permitted, we would have done this launching in Balangar.
Why Balangar?
Because Balangar is the springboard of the activism of EF Small.
Really? Really?
Yes, in 1919.
Is that why you brought in Katim?
Exactly.
Katim is from Balangar.
Barakari is from Balangar. So if you're going to go to Balangar, we bring Balangar to this. But, I hope one day we will get to Balangar. But the whole ceremony also will be moderated. The grand moderator is none other than Nyang Jai. A brother that in him recognize the values of Edward Francis Small. So this event is not just any celebration. Every element is symbolic, and
it's 9 a.m. on Thursday.
And we'll have cultural performances.
Too early for me. I will join you, but it has to be much later. Maybe from 11 o'clock onwards.
Well, I mean, that would still be good. And then, of course, finally, the family of E.F. Small. They've been cooperative. We are going to find out about them. And from here, I'm going to meet his nephew, E.F. Small's nephew. And the family will be there. They will unveil Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice in a another symbolic and solemn,
but significant
drama that will happen in that manner.
Fantastic.
And we are doing it at the University of the Gambia because also the university should be the seedbed of
in Faraba.
No, law faculty.
Oh, okay, law faculty. Okay,
yeah,
MDI Road.
MDI Road.
Yeah.
It is still part of the university.
Okay.
Yes, because the university is a citadel of learning, of reason, but also should be a center to capture our history, live our history, and so on.
You haven't invited any state parties?
Yes, we have invited.
Well, you could say Katim, not Katim, Hasum Sise.
Well, Hasum as a historian,
as director of the Center for Arts and Culture.
No, it's not an occasion for the state to come and talk. They can come and listen. We've invited ministers. And to be fair to one of them, Professor Gomez, he unfortunately would not be available, but he had called personally to congratulate and thank me for the invitation we sent to his ministry, and he said a representative would come.
Okay.
So, but we've sent to all the relevant ministries, and so we hope they will come.
Madi,
yeah,
break a leg, as they say. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
sant yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay nag doo ci yokku dara.
Jar Oil, the company, have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
In the Gambia, we all move to different paces. Time is money, convenience is power, and now both are in your hands. No more long lines, no more late payments, no more missed chances, not anymore. Because now the Gambia has its own super app, Zap. One app, one tap, endless convenience. Send money instantly, pay your bills in seconds, shop without borders, pay your rides, order your meal, buy your ticket, deposit and withdraw money for absolutely free. No extra charges, no hidden fees, only on Zap Super App. This is not just convenience. This is confidence. This is the future in your hands. And the best part, Zap is born right here. Built for us, designed for every Gambian home, every Gambian dream. So don't wait in the past. Step into the future. Download Zap today on App Store and Play Store and enjoy endless free services. Call us today on our toll-free number 1666 or on 260-0001. Zap. All in one. All for you. Tap in. Zap in.